Good morning, everyone. It's a privilege to be here today to delve into a topic that might at first glance seem unusual, perhaps even a little eccentric, the profound practice of talking to yourself. We often dismiss talking to ourselves as a sign of madness, a habit to be suppressed. Yet, I propose to you today that an intentional, conscious engagement in inner dialogue or even audible soliloquy for a dedicated period, say 3 days, can be one of the most transformative practices for self-discovery and personal growth. This isn't about aimless rambling. It's about channeling an innate human tendency into a powerful tool for clarity, processing, and self-mastery. Every single one of us engages in inner dialogue constantly. From the moment we wake until we drift to sleep, a continuous stream of thoughts, judgments, plans, and reactions flows through our minds. This is our default inner conversation. We rehearse future scenarios, replay past events, critique ourselves, and analyze situations. Much of this dialogue, however, is subconscious, fragmented, and often driven by unexamined beliefs or societal conditioning. It's like a perpetually running commentary that we rarely consciously direct or listen to with intention. The proposal of talking to yourself for 3 days isn't to start a new bizarre habit, but rather to bring this existing unseen conversation into the light of conscious awareness, to give it voice, structure, and purpose. Why 3 days? 3 is a powerful number in many spiritual and psychological traditions, representing completion, integration, and new beginnings. A 3-day period offers enough time to move beyond initial awkwardness, delve deeper than surface-level thoughts, and truly experience a shift in perspective. It allows for a sustained immersion in your own mind, giving you the space to unpack complex emotions, challenge deeply ingrained beliefs, and brainstorm solutions without external interruption or judgment. Think of it as an intensive internal retreat, a dedicated time to become your own most attentive listener and wisest counselor. When we talk to ourselves, especially out loud, we engage different parts of our brain. The act of articulating thoughts transforms them from fleeting mental whispers into more concrete, tangible concepts. It forces us to organize our ideas, to find words for nebulous feelings, and to structure our arguments. This externalization process can reveal contradictions, clarify confusion, and bring to the surface insights that might otherwise remain buried in the subconscious. It's a form of self-therapy, a way to process experiences, emotions, and challenges in real time without filters. You become both the speaker and the listener, offering yourself empathy, encouragement, and challenge. Furthermore, in a world saturated with external noise and constant demands for our attention, dedicating time to this internal focus is an act of radical self-care. It allows us to reclaim our mental space, to truly hear our own authentic voice, distinct from the myriad voices of others we internalize. It cultivates self-reliance and strengthens our intuition. When we consistently listen to ourselves, we build a deeper trust in our inner wisdom. This practice is not about isolation, it's about strengthening your core so that you can engage with the world more authentically and effectively. It's about recognizing that the greatest resource for answers and guidance often resides not outside but within you. So let us embark on this journey of intentional soliloquy, not as a strange experiment but as a profound pathway to self-understanding and empowerment. Inquiry are what elevate this practice from mere chatter to profound wisdom. The first, and arguably most crucial tool for active self-listening is unconditional acceptance and non-judgment. Imagine trying to have an honest conversation with a friend who constantly interrupts, criticizes, or dismisses your feelings. You would quickly shut down. The same applies to our inner world. When you speak to yourself, create a mental space of absolute safety and acceptance. Allow every thought, every emotion, every fear, every silly idea to surface without immediate judgment or censorship. Don't tell yourself that's stupid or you shouldn't feel that way. Simply acknowledge its presence. This compassionate witnessing allows deeper truths to emerge as the mind feels safe enough to reveal its hidden layers. This is not endorsing negativity, but rather allowing it to be seen so it can be understood and eventually transformed. Secondly, employ the power of open-ended questioning. Just as a skilled therapist or coach uses questions to guide a client to their own insights, you can guide your internal dialogue. Instead of declarative statements like, "I'm stressed," try asking, "What exactly am I stressed about?" Or "Where in my body do I feel this stress? What belief is this stress connected to? What would it feel like to release this stress? What action could I take to address this?" These questions push you beyond superficial complaints into deeper introspection. Ask why repeatedly, like a curious child, delving deeper into the root causes of your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Allow silence after your questions, giving your inner self space to formulate an answer without rushing. Thirdly, engage in pattern recognition. As you talk to yourself over these 3 days, pay attention to recurring themes, dominant emotions, and habitual thought patterns. Do you consistently gravitate towards self-criticism? Do certain topics always trigger anxiety? Do you keep returning to a particular unresolved issue? Identifying these patterns is the first step towards breaking free from cycles that no longer serve you. When you notice a pattern, gently inquire, where did this pattern originate? What purpose did it once serve? Is it still serving me now? This level of self-awareness allows you to consciously choose different responses and create new, healthier neural pathways. Fourth, utilize the technique of perspective shifting. Sometimes we get stuck in a single viewpoint in your internal dialogue. Try consciously adopting different perspectives. If my wisest self were advising me, what would they say? If I were looking at this situation from 5 years in the future, how would it appear? How would someone I admire approach this challenge? This expands your mental landscape, allowing for more creative solutions and a broader understanding of your situation. It helps to externalize the problem, giving you mental distance to observe it more objectively. Finally, and perhaps most creatively, personify aspects of yourself. This can be incredibly powerful. Give a voice to your inner critic, your inner child, your hopeful self, or your tired self. Allow them to speak in your internal dialogue. For instance, you might ask your inner critic, "What are you trying to protect me from?" Or your inner child, "What do you need right now?" This technique helps to integrate fragmented parts of your psyche, bringing them into conscious awareness and fostering internal harmony. By mastering the art of active listening to yourself, through non-judgment, open questioning, pattern recognition, perspective shifting, and personification, you transform a simple conversation into a profound journey of self-discovery, leading to deeper self-understanding and ultimately greater freedom and peace. The first step in emotional processing is acknowledgement, not suppression. In our society, we are often conditioned to be strong to get over it or to simply distract ourselves from uncomfortable emotions. However, emotions are messengers. When we suppress them, they don't disappear, they merely go underground, festering and potentially manifesting as physical ailments, anxiety, or destructive behaviors. During your 3 days of self-dialogue, consciously invite every emotion to surface: anger, sadness, fear, grief, shame, resentment, joy, excitement, and everything in between. Greet them, not with judgment, but with curiosity. Hello, sadness, what are you here to tell me today? Welcome, anger, what boundary has been crossed? This simple act of acknowledging an emotion, giving it space to exist, immediately lessens its power over you. Once acknowledged, the next crucial step is articulation. This is where talking to yourself, especially out loud, becomes incredibly potent. Put words to your feelings. Describe them in detail. I feel a tightness in my chest when I think about that interaction. My sadness feels like a heavy blanket draped over me. My anger is a hot, pulsing sensation behind my eyes. The act of verbalizing an emotion moves it from a vague internal sensation into a concrete experience that you can observe and process. It often helps to explore the root cause. Why do I feel this way? When have I felt this before? What unfulfilled need or unmet expectation is connected to this emotion? Don't be afraid to delve into painful memories or uncomfortable truths. This is a safe space created by you, for you. As you articulate, practice emotional release. This might involve allowing yourself to cry if tears well up, expressing anger through silent but intense verbalization, or even physically shaking out tension. The goal is to allow the energy of the emotion to move through you rather than getting stuck within you. For example, if you're feeling immense frustration, you might verbalize, "I am so incredibly frustrated by this situation because I feel unheard and undervalued," and repeat it until the energy begins to dissipate. You are giving voice to what has been suppressed, creating an outlet for its energy. This isn't about wallowing, it's about active processing. Breakthroughs often occur when you allow yourself to sit with an emotion fully, without trying to fix it immediately, and then gently inquire about its underlying message. For instance, a persistent feeling of anxiety might, through self-dialogue, reveal a core fear of inadequacy. Once that fear is identified, you can then begin to challenge it. Is this fear truly serving me? What evidence do I have against it? What is a more empowering belief I can adopt? This process of identifying core beliefs linked to emotions is where true transformation happens. You move from simply feeling the emotion to understanding its source and then consciously choosing a different response. Distinguishing between the voice of fear or ego and the voice of genuine inner guidance is a key aspect of this practice. The inner critic often speaks in harsh, demeaning, or fear-based terms. Inner guidance, however, typically feels calm, clear, empowering, and expansive. It offers solutions rather than just highlighting problems. It doesn't use shaming language. The more you consciously engage with this inner dialogue and observe these distinctions, the more attuned you become to your authentic internal compass. Trusting this inner voice is a muscle that strengthens with consistent exercise. Each time you act on a piece of inner guidance and it proves beneficial, your trust in yourself deepens. Furthermore, this practice fosters self-soothing and resilience. When external support is unavailable or insufficient, knowing how to talk to yourself with compassion and wisdom becomes an invaluable life skill. You become your own source of comfort, validation, and direction. This isn't about becoming self-absorbed. It's about building an unshakable inner foundation that allows you to engage with the world from a place of strength, authenticity, and emotional stability. By consciously nurturing self-compassion and consistently listening for your inner guidance during these 3 days of dedicated self-dialogue, you unlock a profound source of wisdom and support that will serve you throughout your entire life. You are not just talking to yourself, you are building an extraordinary relationship with the most important person in your life. The first key to sustainable practice is conscious commitment to ongoing, albeit briefer, self-dialogue. While a 3-day intensive provides a deep dive, daily maintenance is crucial. This doesn't mean talking to yourself out loud all day, every day. It means carving out small, consistent pockets of time for internal check-ins. This could be 5-10 minutes each morning to set intentions and ask yourself how you want to show up that day. It could be a brief self-reflection during a walk, or a few moments before bed to process the day's events and release any lingering tension. The habit of checking in with yourself, even silently, becomes a powerful anchor, preventing the accumulation of unaddressed thoughts and emotions. Make it a non-negotiable part of your daily routine, just like brushing your teeth. Secondly, apply the tools of active listening and self-compassion in real time. The insights gained from the intensive 3 days can be immediately brought into your daily interactions and challenges. When a stressful situation arises, instead of reacting impulsively, pause, Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What do I need? What is the wisest response? This real-time internal dialogue allows you to respond consciously rather than react emotionally. When you catch yourself in a moment of self-criticism, immediately apply the self-compassion you cultivated. It's okay, I'm learning. This rapid application reinforces the new neural pathways created during your intensive period, making self-compassion and mindful response your default. Thirdly, integrate physical and environmental support systems. Your body and your surroundings are not separate from your inner world. Continue to nourish your body with wholesome food and movement, as physical vitality directly supports mental clarity. Create sacred spaces in your home that invite introspection and peace. Minimize external distractions where possible. Even simple acts like decluttering your physical space can have a profound impact on clearing your mental and energetic space, making it easier to maintain a clear inner dialogue. Recognize that your environment either supports or hinders your internal practice. Fourth, embrace journaling as a tangible extension of your self-dialogue. While speaking aloud is powerful, writing allows for a different kind of processing and provides a record of your journey. Use your journal to explore the deeper insights that emerge, to track recurring patterns, and to celebrate breakthroughs. It becomes a physical manifestation of your internal conversation, a trusted confidant that offers clarity and perspective, especially when you feel too overwhelmed to speak. Rereading past entries can reveal immense growth and provide valuable self-coaching when faced with similar challenges. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, understand that this is an ongoing journey, not a destination. The relationship with yourself is the longest and most significant relationship you will ever have. It will evolve, deepen, and present new layers as you grow. There will be days when the inner conversation is clear and insightful, and days when it feels muddled or silent. Approach both with patience and curiosity. This practice of talking to yourself, when integrated sustainably, becomes a lifelong wellspring of personal growth, resilience, and profound self-understanding. It's not about being perfect, but about consistently showing up for yourself, honoring your inner wisdom, and allowing the incredible power of your own consciousness to guide you towards a life of greater purpose, peace, and authenticity.